I was recently asked to moderate a panel in Los Angeles and had the pleasure of speaking again with actress, producer, philanthropist, and Open Hearts Foundation founder Jane Seymour. Joining her were her longtime friend and fellow actor Joe Lando, as well as licensed clinical psychologist Dr. Lori Baldino. The discussion began by revisiting how Jane and Joe first met on the set of Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman in 1992, a connection that would evolve into a lasting friendship. More than 3 decades later, their bond would be tested and strengthened in unexpected ways as they faced the challenges brought on by the Los Angeles wildfires. Joe Lando, whose talent and heartfelt storytelling have inspired audiences around the world, is joining us this year as the keynote speaker for the Each Moment Matters Luncheon in October.
Welcome to At the Forefront, where we explore the groundbreaking innovations and developments shaping the future of aging. We're hitting the road to showcase how older adults are embracing change, staying active, and thriving in their golden years. Here's your host, CEO of Forefront Living, Tim Mallad.
Thank you and welcome everyone. Jane, Joe, welcome. Dr. Baldino, welcome. Some of us experienced a mini reunion with your wedding garments or your, I would call them, they're more than costumes. And I couldn't help really but notice the chemistry and the deep bond that the two of you had. And talk to us a little bit about that, if you would, both of you, about the development over the years. And it's been a little while since Dr. Quinn has been off the air, but the friendship is still there.
Isn't it funny how I don't have that shirt, but Jane does?
Someone was looking after you.
It was $6,000 for that shirt, I remember.
It must have been more than that, wasn't it?
Very warm. Well, was it? Really?
Yeah.
There were 3 of them.
Where'd they all go?
Well,
That's a question for a different show. And this is the way it usually goes. I don't know.
Well, I remember meeting you the first day on Dr. Quinn,
Yeah.
right?
Do you?
Who was cast first?
Me?
Yes. Dr. Quinn Sully, it was called, until they realized he didn't have a medical license.
Yeah.
And there was this woman who was unemployed and needed a job, had lost everything. I'd just lost everything. You
Well,
remember?
yeah, I remember the first day
Yeah.
of us really working together. I visited you in Pasadena, and you had bronchitis, which is like her thing that happens to her Achilles heel. Remember?
I
And
do,
I just
yeah.
walked up, and I'm like, damn, there's Jane Seymour.
We were doing a funeral, right?
Yeah. your
I
father's funeral.
almost belonged in the coffin there.
But the director didn't tell me who my co-star was going to be. So I was finishing up something in New York, a soap I was doing. And I flew back, and the director had me meeting him in the trailer. And then he said, let's go on out, and you'll meet your co-star. And that's when I first met Jane. And of course I knew who she was, and I was pretty flabbergasted, honestly, but
You were?
yeah, but I played it cool.
Very, very cool.
Oh, where? Oh, there you are.
Oh,
Hi,
hi.
nice to meet you.
What did you know me from?
From everything. I mean, you were the miniseries queen,
That was true.
but somewhere
true.
in time.
Right.
Somewhere in time was the big thing, and it was. I had the opportunity to have this pilot development deal, and since I always, as a kid, wanted to be in a Western, I wanted to be a mountain man. They sent me the script, and the first one was Dr. Quinn. And I thought, yeah, this will be great. I'll be in a Western, and nobody wanted a Western then, and until Jane signed on. I won't tell you the other choices that I was told before then, but you wouldn't know the show if it wasn't for her.
Well, somebody actually had, the costumes were made for somebody because I tried them on at lunchtime and I was wearing them at 6 a.m. the next
They must
morning.
have been big.
They were a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
I didn't even know who she was.
You're not going to tell us, or are you going to tell it? No?
No.
I think Beth told me,
There was
but
two.
there were 2 people.
2 people. One was in New York when I found out. I'm like, oh. And then I started picturing that, and I didn't think it was right. And then there was another person that then didn't want to do TV. I remember. And I
we
was like,
have to love her.
Yeah.
Where is she now?
Years later,
Where
I
is
saw her
she
doing
now?
a TV
This'll
show
be
that didn't last. not gonna tell.
He's not going to tell.
So was it?
Oh, God.
Was it chemistry
Was it bigger
from the
than a
start?
bread box?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Was it? No.
So was the relationship chemistry from the start? What was it like to begin working together?
It's your show. Go.
It's my show. Well, my memory is not as good as it should be. I think I was probably panicked over suddenly realizing I'd signed on to do possibly 5 years, but I was absolutely assured that it would never make a series because there's a woman in the lead, dusty. I mean, this is a Western medical show, that didn't work, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I remember thinking, oh my God, I've got to learn these 9 pages. How am I going to do it? And then we met. Do you remember what scene it was we met? You would remember. I don't remember. You do?
We were at the
What was our first scene?
the riverbed. We were in Malibu Canyon. We were looking for little Sean.
Little Sean.
Yeah.
No.
He was lost at that
Giant
point.
Sean.
We were going to find him. This is
Okay.
like 3/4 through the movie, right?
Oh, that's when we found it.
And
Oh.
yeah, you were on a horse, and we were Malibu Creek, and I was in my
Oh.
Sully outfit, and you were like, "So what brings you here?" Kind of a deal. What got you here? And I was on the soap, blah blah blah, and now I'm here, and I was like, "And what brought you here?" And she was like, "I'm like
Bangkok.
$10 million in debt or something like that." And action. So I'd never even imagined having $10 million, let alone being $10 million backwards. But I was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah. What I do remember is that when they hired me on the spot, that they never asked me if I rode a horse, and so almost
But all
immediately,
actors say yes.
yep, of course, and almost immediately they put me not on just on a horse, but on a horse on a bit of land that big with a cliff going down to nowhere on the side. And my idea of riding a horse is in an arena with a little hat on, a hard hat, on a leash maybe, going round and round, not with, I think, 6 Native Americans who also said they knew how to ride bareback.
Yeah.
Falling off their horses as they came dashing down, and my horse is prancing, and I'm going, what have I let myself in for? But anyway, so we met and we worked together. And then do you remember you used to stay and watch me work?
Yeah. I
Why?
used to do that when I was 19 years old. And I worked on a movie when I was 19 called Silkwood. I was a caterer, and I would cater the movies. And then there's one night when I had the opportunity to go down and watch Meryl Streep work. And I thought that was really cool. I'd never been on a set, and I was literally like this far away looking at her thinking she couldn't see me. And she did. And she spoke to me later and asked me about acting, but that reminded me of the time I went in to watch you. And I know you appreciated Meryl Streep's work, and I remember sitting there watching you thinking, she's pretty darn good herself, too. And as a young actor, I mean, I was 30, but I was still learning a lot. Watching you working with Jane really was a great training ground for me, too. You won't find anybody more professional. You won't find anybody more dedicated, I think, to what they're doing. And you won't find anybody more that'll break your you-know-whats if you're doing something wrong. So that was always good. Because I was a little untamed.
Untamed.
Yeah.
Untamed.
Civilized. What do you want?
You've never been tamed, though. You're still untamed. That's
Yeah.
part of your charm.
Yeah.
Untamed. Yes, of the Wild
It hurts
West.
sometimes.
Yeah. Well, we did a whole bunch of scenes, and it was going really well, and we obviously really liked each other, and then we liked each other even more, right?
Yeah.
And then there was a flood. Do you remember the flood?
Fantastic day at work.
It was great. Tell them what happened.
It started raining, and then it kept raining, and then we were shooting some stuff in the barn. It was Black Kettler was supposed to be wounded, and he's in the barn, right, in the pilot, and then I'm standing there in the stable. That's where we were, and there was water over my moccasins. I still wore moccasins then, and all these electric cables and stuff, and they didn't brought Jane in yet. I remember looking at the electric, like, is this safe? Should I touch something? I'm not supposed to be grounded. What's going on? And then you came in, and we were in there. We didn't even do anything, and all of a sudden they're like, "We gotta evacuate."
They
Pull
told
the plug.
run
Yeah.
now.
Go. And it was like boom. The lights are off, and guys were leaving before I was even walking out. Those guys were wrapping up stuff so quickly. We went back down to base camp, and there was a creek between us and getting out of town. Base camp was where all our stuff was. Then there was town. Then there's the creek. By the time we got to the creek, the water was coming over the bridge.
It
You
was a
got
flash flood.
ahead of me with her
Flash,
driver,
for
who
real.
was the head of the head of
He
networks.
was the nephew of the head of the
Yeah.
network.
In a
Clearly,
rented Cadillac, and I had a 4-wheel drive truck.
and he wouldn't let me out, and I couldn't get out.
Well, the problem was because he turned it into the water, and then the car died.
And I couldn't get.
Because
I had to
the
climb out
water's
of the
coming-
window.
And she climbed out of the window
Into your window.
through my window, over me, into the truck, and then there was the luggage.
Yeah. and then we found a margarita.
Yeah.
Then we found a second.
Because it took
and then-
like 3 hours. She had to bring her to the Beverly Hills Hotel. That's where you were going to stay that night. And so, yeah. And there was like the roads were all washing out.
So the flash flood and
then the
Dr.
fire.
Quinn,
Then we had the
and
fire.
we had the fire. That bonded us, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
We were, and do you remember after we had the fire and the flash flood? Do you remember we said there's going to be the crickets or something?
Oh.
And then we had crickets. Do you remember the crickets?
Yes. I remember.
We
Now I
just
hear
said there's
myself.
got to be the locusts. So we had everything, but we had the most amazing time on Dr. Quinn, and we hoped that this pilot might make it, and it did. And
I always believed in it.
I did too,
So
and no
yeah.
one had told me that they were doing this to be one and done, but.
Yeah.
Clearly, they hadn't listened to there was chemistry, which clearly there still is. And I love working with Joe. We just did, well, not just, but a while ago, we did Christmas
3 years
Spark.
ago.
Is it 3 years ago? But whenever we do anything together, everyone goes, oh my gosh, and it just works. It's magical. And as you can hear, we can finish each other's sentences and bust each other for whatever.
Yeah.
And
I love that I get to do that to her. Not too many people, try to get the queen.
Thank you for watching and listening to At the Forefront. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to our social pages. We look forward to seeing you next time.